Hi and welcome. I'm Steve and welcome to the premiere of my journey through the keto diet as a type 1 diabetic. I want to talk to you about why I'm doing it, how I'm doing it, and all the ups and downs and in between. So let's get started. So I want to give a little history on my family and where my diabetes came from. My grandparents on my father's side both died from diabetes when my father was 6 years old. I have a brother that's younger than me. He was diagnosed with type 1 diabetes when he was 21, and then I have a nephew who was diagnosed with type 1 when he was 6. So after a year of being on metformin for type 2, I was actually diagnosed by my endocrinologist as a type 1, and he immediately put me on insulin. So I've been doing insulin injections once a day for the past 4 years or so, and recently I had an episode in the hospital. I was taken by ambulance to a local hospital emergency room. I was in ICU for 4 days, and let me tell you, ketoacidosis sucks. I didn't know what it was. I felt sick and ill for a couple of days, dizzy, nausea, loss of breath, hyperventilating, and after being in the hospital for a few days, I found out what it was, and I would never want to have that again. So that was my awakening, I guess, that I needed to do something to better control my blood sugar, to lose a little bit of weight around my midsection, and just to be healthier overall. So everyone's probably seen the food pyramid. I grew up with the food pyramid in the 80s, and back then it was, and actually it still is, a lot of doctors and dietitians still prescribe it. Eat lots of carbs and lots of grains and pasta and bread. Anything white, eat the white stuff, it's good for you. And you can eat fruits too, that's great, and eat meats, but stay away from fats. Because what was the old saying? If you eat fat, you'll get fat. Calories in, calories out, do this diet, restrict your calories, do lots of exercise, and you'll be completely fit. So I've tried that several times without success. It's good for a couple, 3 months, and then the weight goes back on. You get tired of dieting, you get tired of counting calories, working out like crazy every other day or every day just to try to maintain your weight. I never understood why that was, but after researching keto, I actually understand it now. One of the things that I found out while researching ketoacidosis was keto. It popped up in YouTube. Knew nothing about it, and I decided to research it some more, which I did. And that's why I decided to start this journey with you. I want to see how the keto diet helps me with my blood sugar and my control of my diabetes. So my doctor, the last 2 times I was in, prescribed me on the food pyramid, and it was 60 grams of carbs per meal, or 180 carbs per day, 180 grams per day of carbohydrates prescribed by my dietitian both times. I thought that was kind of crazy. So that led me to do additional research on keto, why it worked for a lot of people, how it worked, and that's why I decided to start this channel and document my journey as I see what keto does for me. And I'm a data freak. I collect data on everything. I do it because I enjoy it, not because I have to, not because the keto experts tell you have to. I just enjoy it. I like to see how my blood sugar is affected by this type of food, if I exercise, what kind of exercise, the interactions between fats. If I eat more fat, what does that do to my blood sugar on the keto diet? You're eating more fat and way less carbs. So I just track the data. I've got 3 or 4 apps which I'll talk about in a future episode, and it's really easy. I spend 2 minutes, I jump on the scale, it takes up all my measurements, my weight, my body fat, my water, loads it to my phone. I've got the Fit Watch, of course, and that all loads to my phone, how active I am, what my resting heart rate is, how much I've walked or jogged that day, how well I'm resting, the hours of deep sleep versus light sleep. So all of that I'll be keeping track of and sharing with you on a weekly basis. So there'll be lots of numbers and data, but I'll try to make it very simple and straightforward and just see what the trends are as I go through this keto journey. So look forward to that, and just kind of going through the stuff that I really enjoy, which is collecting data and getting healthy. So That's what I wanted to bring to you today. This is my premiere episode, and I look forward to sharing all of my experiences with you. I'm not a health professional. I'm not a dietitian. I'm not a doctor. I'm just an average guy happens to be diabetic, and I've got some gut to lose. So I look forward to talking with you more in the future, and thanks so much for joining me.